Hi guys and girls, Gallifrey Forever 97 here. Join me today to run down what I feel is the top 5 surprises of Series 12. Jodie Whittaker's first series as the Doctor felt very separate to prior series, with minimal callbacks to the past, which was a purposeful choice. This gave showrunner Chris Chibnall his own stamp on the show, setting up his new Doctor and 3 companions. This series didn't have a thematic story arc either, which usually hovered over previous series, for example Bad Wolf, Vote Saxon, The Crack in the Wall, and The Hybrid, to mention a few. Instead we got character arcs mainly with Graham and Ryan, who are forced to go through the grief of Grace, killed by Teeth Collector Tim Shaw, bookending both ends of the series. Series 12, however, was not just a return to story arcs, but an immense delve into old enemies, return of a friend, whilst giving us new revelations which changes everything we know about the show as we know it. That really did sound dramatic, didn't it? Before I start, give me your favourite surprise moment which left you most shocked in the comment section below. Whilst you're also down there, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't for more videos like this and more. The channel recently surpassed 8,500 subscribers, which is mind blowing. So thank you everyone for the continued support over the years. It means so much to know people enjoy the content I put out, including trailers, reviews and much more. Without further ado though, sit back, relax and enjoy this rundown of the most shocking reveal style moments we've seen from the 12th season of the revival. Kicking off the top 5 is the reveal of the lone Cyberman in episode 8, The Haunting of Villa Diodati. What we thought would be a standalone scary ghost themed historical turned out to be an episode in the same vein as Utopia and Turn Left, which works as a lead-in into the 2-part finale. This episode centers around the reveal of the lone Cyberman, with the first half setting up the mystery, the supporting characters with some amazing atmospheric and spine-chilling moments. And just as the episode starts to become mildly tedious with the teasers, the lone Cyberman is revealed, pushing the story into another gear, with the second half focusing on the Cyberman trying to get his hands on the Cyberium, which is Cyberman AI, which could birth a new race of Cybermen. This was set up in Fugitive Vigidoom with the warning from an old trusted friend of the Doctor's. It works also on another level, as the audience know this isn't just a random Cyberman, but one that will affect the grander scheme of things, with teasers of the Cyber War and a new army. This Cyberman is called a Shard. He has emotions because he's half converted using old parts of different Cybermen, which gives us something new and inventive, just as you think everything could be done with the Cybermen. It's a striking design, as most of the head is resemblance of the Cybermen, but we get to see half of his face with scars and silver teeth, allowing the audience to emotionally connect with him. This gives us scenes with Mary Shelley, for example, trying to connect with his humanity, that leaves the audience vulnerable for a Shard to retaliate and let Mary know why he didn't take her child due to him being sick and sadly dying not long after the story takes place. Mary Shelley is the writer of the famous book Frankenstein. In Doctor Who's canon now, the night with the lone Cyberman is now the inspiration for writing that book. It pushes the Doctor in a corner as she has to make the choice to either give the lone Cyberman what it wants or kill the poet Percy Shelley, who has the Cyberiad inside him. He is one of the most famous English romantic poets, widely regarded as the most finest lyric and philosophical poets in the English language. We see a side we've not seen before with this Doctor, talking down to the fans opposed to the flat team structure often mentioned in previous episodes. She lets them know through anger what's really at stake with history and the burden of being a Time Lord, allowing for a great monologue from Jodie. By the way, the new powers of the Doctor on display, projecting Shelley to his future death, that was super cool and dark. What could have been a scary historical haunted house story is elevated into a high stakes challenging story for the Doctor, who has to make a decision no one's prepared to make through the twist reveal of Ashad the lone Cyberman, who's sporadic and unpredictable due to remaining his emotions, giving us a fresh take of the ancient enemy in a dark, refreshing way, setting up the groundwork for the next episode, Ascension of the Cybermen. Exploding in at number 4, we have the Doctor return to Gallifrey to find it destroyed and in ruins. Before Series 12, the state of Gallifrey was a mixed bag. After the 50th anniversary episode of The Dead of Doctor, Gallifrey was saved after the events of the Time War, and then throughout Series 8 and 9, the Doctor didn't actively go looking for their own planet until Missy teased them with its location. The Time Lords then trapped the Doctor in the Confession Dial, spent 4.5 billion years in his own hell to get to Gallifrey, dethroned Rassilon, resurrected Clara and ran away again. Chibnall didn't have many options with Gallifrey. I didn't think he was going to tackle this can of worms, but this series he tackled the problem head on. Series 10-11 saw no mention of Gallifrey, the Doctor and their retrospective companions. In Series 11 there was no big speech from the Doctor saying where they're from, and now we know this was on purpose. In Spyfall Part 2, the Master asked the Doctor when she last went home. He goes on to tell her how it's been pulverised and nuked, and she disbelieves him, similar to the audience. I know I did, but at the end of the story the Doctor goes home and discovers the shocking sight of Gallifrey in flames with no sign of life. I feel this was a way to set up the Master for the Timeless Children, for when he's telling the Doctor about the backstory that she doesn't know about, so we believe what he's saying, as we know he's a liar and a major manipulator in the past. To go from hope of seeing Gallifrey again to the shock of seeing it ruins was the quickest high to low I think I've seen on screen. Jodie gives a performance full of pain and sadness translated entirely to the audience through expression. After many years since the Doctor known we could have it back in its former glory, to now the point of no return was like having the rug pulled underneath the audience. We found out the Master was the person who did it due to finding out everything they know about the Time Lords was a lie, which we found in the finale is surrounding the Timeless Child. It's a bold and shocking move on Chibnall's part. It's a heartbreaking surprise, adding emotional weight to 13 as we followed her through the journey and shared the same loss. It sets up the art for the series, and by the end of that, it's obviously completely wiped out. Hopefully a new style of Gallifrey will emerge. Who survived? Are there any refugees starting up again, similar to how we found out Gallifrey was originally started? I hope we get to find out in a future series, but for now, all we can do is grieve with the Doctor as she's lost her home all over again. Coming in at number 3 is a reveal we've seen done on numerous occasions, but never gets old. The revelation that O is the Master from Spyfall Part 1. The last we saw the Master / Missy was at the end of Series 10, where both versions killed each other. While the Master escaped to regenerate, it seemed as if Missy had met her end. I thought this would have been the last we see of the Master for a long time, but that was not to be. Spyfall Part 1 introduced us to an old friend of the Doctor called O, played by Sacha Dhawan, who's a hell of an actor, appearing in Adventure in Space and Time as the first director of the show, An Earthly Child, Marvel's Iron Fist as he plays the villain, and most recently Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss' adaptation of Dracula. You get the sense he may not be trustworthy, as the Doctor tells her fan and the audience in plain sight not to trust anyone. I highly recommend rewatching Spyfall Part with the obvious clues which go straight past you the first time round, including having a collection of all the Doctor's previous faces when talking to Graham, for example. Sacha performs the character so well you consider he may be a new companion, as he sells the shock and wonder of seeing the TARDIS for the first time. So we thought. But once we get on Barton's plane, the Doctor picks up on what O says before jumping onto the plane about being a good sprinter, but clearly he's not, as he was the last to get on. Sacha's performance naturally changes to maniacal and insane in a single look. With his persona gone, you can see the twinkle of good and hope in his eyes has now vanished. As the audience are wondering what's going on, he shows us his TARDIS flying on autopilot outside the plane. Seriously, how is he doing that? He playfully informs the Doctor on his true identity of her oldest friend and enemy. The family is super confused, as we later realise she's not told them anything about Gallifrey, the Time Lords, and really about herself. From then on we get maniacal laughing, moments of rage and fun, which you can see Sacha's fully invested playing with the script and actors. Plus, we get a nice callback to the original Master, Roger Delgado, with the TCE device, as he has the real O in a matchbox. Mr. TARDIS Review spotted in his Spyfall Part 1 review that you can see he can't get the matchbox back in his pocket after taking it out. This leads into flicking the box into one of the seats next to him, which shows what a talented improv actor he is. The episode ends with the companions flying to their deaths on an exploded and falling plane. The Master escaping through the Kazavin, taking the Doctor to another dimension, but letting her know before she goes to her death that everything she knows is a lie. This of course leads on to the knowledge of the origin of the Time Lords and the Doctor's unknown past lives. Part 2 of this story gives Sacha many moments to showcase his depth and understanding of the character, with multiple disguises and confrontations with the Doctor, which adds another level to an already epic story. The Master reveal was an instant classic, selling everything about Sacha's Master in one scene, surprising fans and audiences alike, and leading to shocking revelations and a lot of evil fun. Here's hoping we haven't seen the last of the Master after the ending of The Timeless Children. He adds so much to scenes he's in, such an evil delight to witness on screen. In at number 2 is the return I don't think anyone expected. We've seen them continuing audio over at Big Finish, but thought their telly adventures were over. This is of course the return of John Barrowman as Captain Jack Harkness. Being in the first series of the revival, the character was a regular staple of the show, getting his spin-off adult show Torchwood along with the Sarah Jane Adventures. This gives us more of a dark and adult take on the universe, with a lovable team, great episodes, and some of the saddest deaths I think we've ever seen put to screen. The last time we saw Jack on screen was in 2011 with the cliffhanger ending for Series 4 Miracle Day, which I think will just leave open-ended. Big Finish have been making numerous adventures on audio with the original cast for many years now, even having their own form of Series 5. This is why I thought the character would stay, as he hadn't been seen on Doctor Who for over 10 years since Rusty Davies left. However, just over 10 years later, he made his shocking return in Series 12's Fugitive of the Judoon. This episode has to have the most surprises and shocks for one episode. We have the return of the Judoon, which is a lot of fun to see. When the Doctor and Famland, Graham is mysteriously transported away. He wakes up on a ship with an American voice giving him instructions. For me, I was in disbelief, as recognising the voice, you're going to yourself, no, it can't be, can it? Our suspicions are confirmed by him teleporting onto the ship, telling who he thinks is the Doctor, Graham, and the audience in a meta way. You miss me, right? There's some great banter between Graham and Jack when he realises it's not the Doctor after giving him such a big kiss and hug. When he learns 13 is now a woman, it makes him super excited. Did I forget to mention the setting is Jack being chased on a stolen prison ship? Later on he scoots up Ryan and Yaz, leading to throwbacks including Ryan calling him cheesy, which Mickey Smith used to call him. Taking away the fan service, this works for the episode's favour in 2 reasons. Firstly, it takes the companions out the picture so the Doctor can go on a journey of self-discovery, more about later. But secondly, to inform the fam and the audience about the Lone Cyberman, as previously mentioned in this list, setting up another plot coming up later in the series. He knows about the Alliance and the Lone Cyberman looking for the Cyber AI, which could start a new cyber army. With Jack fighting the Cyber Woman in Torchwood, written by Chibnall coincidentally, he knows the stakes and the audience trust him as he's a much beloved character. So when the fam tell the Doctor at the end of the story they've met Jack and he's warned them about future events, the Doctor instantly trusted the information. It's a shame we don't get to see an interaction between Captain Jack and the 13th Doctor, but the ending message sounds like he'll be there when she needs him next. She's stuck in life imprisonment by the Judoon at the end of the Timeless Children, which I feel warrants his help. It works for the episode and gives amazing fan service for John Barron getting back into the coat like he's never left the role. It's magical seeing a beloved Doctor Who character step from one era to another, and I hope we see more. Before I reveal my number 1 surprise moment from Series 12, here's some honourable mentions. The reveal of the Doctor being the Timeless Child, the Master's return at the end of Ascension of the Cybermen, the cliffhanger ending to the series with the Doctor trapped in the Shardar-style prison by the Judoon, the reveal of Yaz's past in Can You Hear Me, Ruth's cameo in the finale, and the Doctor breaking the Matrix with the flashbacks to old episodes and Doctors. Finally at number 1, the most shocking surprise moment from Series 12 has to be the reveal of Ruth as the fugitive Doctor from Fugitive of the Judoon. You can see what I meant earlier by saying this was the episode with the most surprises. Hiding cleverly behind the Captain Jack cameo, we have the introduction of a past Doctor which has been nicknamed the Fugitive Doctor. I've drawn more towards the Ruth Doctor for some reason. At the start of this episode, the entire first sequence before we see the Judoon, the Doctor or fam is seeing an average day in the life of Ruth who lives with her boyfriend Lee. There's some great image teasers, for example with the focus shot on her watch. We get to see her interact with people on her way to work where she's a tour guide, showing she's a great people person. Similar to O's reveal, they give the audience enough investment to grow to love the character Ruth before the reveal through acting and writing. The plot focuses around the Judoon invading Gloucester, looking for a fugitive hired by a mysterious figure only known as Gat. Our suspicions are focused on Lee being the fugitive as he makes some mysterious faces at moments, and the cafe bloke has an entire dossier on his movements. Why on earth did he shove that Judoon captain? I'll never know. Our expectations are subverted as when he gives himself up to Judoon, we find out he's not the fugitive and is killed by Gat. When Ruth finds out, what we think is her in shock is her channeling back to her original self, similar to the Family Blood 2 part where the Doctor comes back for a moment, resulting in her taking out an entire platoon of Judoon in combat. A text from Lee before he was killed leads them to a lighthouse which she keeps getting images of in her head. Once there, she literally and figuratively breaks the glass to reveal to the Doctor she is the Doctor in an awesome costume and a huge gun. It's a great edited sequence as you're following the 13th Doctor discovering the buried TARDIS, and alongside it with Ruth transforming back into the Doctor, using the chameleon art, picking out clothing and setting up her gun. There's some amazing banter between the 13th Doctor and Fugitive Doctor, echoing back to multi-Doctor stories from the past, commenting on her appearance and style. She has a great commanding presence as the 13th Doctor is disorientated and in disbelief as she's joining another Doctor's adventures she had no idea existed. We later discover in the series finale the Doctor has countless other lives before the first Doctor that we know of, played by William Hartnell. She could be from the past. However, because she has a police box and classic style console, people have also theorised she could be between the second and third Doctor with the season 6B theory. If you don't know what that is, Google it, YouTube it, there's some good explanation videos. Anything is possible, but this Doctor uses guns and violence confronting Gat and the Judoon, even sabotaging the gun to backfire and kill Gat, who was trying to retrieve her for the Time Lords. These are characteristics we're not used to with the Doctor. I see this incarnation before the first Doctor because the Doctor is casually using weapons and is a weapon for the Time Lords based on the revelations of the Division. Maybe this sends her/he down a dark path, meaning that when she rolls around having her memory wiped, she honours to become the Doctor we know and love. After the events of the story, she drops the 13th Doctor back to her timeline, with them both leaving on bad terms due to the 13th Doctor hijacking and disliking the way this version of the Doctor is going about things. The Fugitive Doctor is not seen again until the series finale, with her giving the 13th Doctor a moral boost as she's feeling defeated and tired after being through the ring with the Master, revealing everything she knows about her past was a lie. A great moment for the Fugitive Doctor when she tells the 13th Doctor, quote, "When have you ever been limited by who you were before?" which is a great symbology for the show and regeneration. Going into Series 13, we still have the mysteries of the Division, the mystery between the rivalry between the Fugitive Doctor and Gat. Where does she fit in the Doctor's timeline? And how many other Doctors are out there, which would be really fun to explore. The Fugitive Doctor was an instant hit, even though she had a small appearance, being very commanding and kick-ass. I'd love to see more adventures with this Doctor, seeing why she is the way she is. I'm sure Big Finish will do a series called Division with her in years down the line, but for now we have an unknown Doctor who is the opposite to the 13th Doctor, with Jodie's Doctor not trusting herself, but the Fugitive Doctor being very assertive, allowing for a great dynamic between the two. It was a surprising twist from Series 12 in my opinion, kicking open the door for many more Doctors, but for now we see Jo Martin officially here as a Doctor, kicking off a new era of Doctors from the past. Welcome to the family of Doctors, Jo. So there you go, that's my rundown of the top 5 surprises from Series 12. Do you agree with my list? Do you have any other moments which surprised you more? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Please comment, like and subscribe. You can follow me on social media for Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Links to that stuff in the description below. Is there any other top 5s, top 10s you'd like to see me do on Series 12, or ranking any other stuff? Any ideas for future videos, let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye!